All right, hello gamers, Muckluck here, and today is Tuesday, December 10th, 2024. We've got some new Guild Wars 2 news, and we are going to go over it now. We knew coming up to today that the Wintersday Festival was coming back to Guild Wars 2 today, but there's also some other stuff as well, so let's just take it from the top. So, December 10th, 2024, release notes. Note to third-party program, your add-ons may break. Arc DPS is already throwing up error messages. If you use Arc, it's going to need an update. That's all that is. All right, Winter's Day. Come join us in celebrating Winter's Day. Toy maker Tix has made his annual visit to Divinity's Reach to spread seasonal cheer and festivity. Bring the cheer of Winter's Day to the distant north in the secret lair of the Snowman Encounter. Complete daily achievements to earn fanciful holiday weapons. Save Winter's Day for the orphans located around Divinity's Reach by giving them wrapped gifts. Test your snow throwing skills against other players in Snowball Mayhem. Experience the joy of jumping in Winter Wonderland. Defend against waves of toys and Toypocalypse. And help keep Tix's airship, the Infinarium, in order. You will also find Winter's Day gifts appearing all around Tyria. Really quick here for the new players. That event mostly takes place. Here is Divinity's Reach, and over here on the left is the Crown Pavilion. I will port there right now, and it is probably going to be covered in snow and all kinds of stuff. The holiday events mostly take place in this location. The Tix's Infinarium, just because this is really cool, I want to show it. Hang on a second. As soon as the ground loads in. For new folks, look up. There you go. Your Christmas is brought to you by the Asura. That is a gigantic golem-shaped blimp, and many of the events happen inside that sucker. Very cool. There's a few bits in the game where the blimp is on like loading screens, like Tix came for backup for various major threats that happened in the game. But anyway, yeah, so here's where most of the holiday stuff happens if you are new to the game and you haven't seen it. So let's go back to the patch notes. The annual Winter's Day Traditions achievement has been updated with a new Winter Mittens armor reward to keep your sword hand free of frosty shivers. Last year's meta reward, the Winter for Shoulders, can now be purchased from festival reward vendors. Let's go to this right here and go to the wardrobe and do winter. And we're looking for, let's see, there's earmuffs, antlers, hood, shoulders, like gloves, medium gloves. There we go, winter mittens. Okay, well, that's them on an Asura. There you go, winter mittens. All right, and let's see. A new plush weapon set is now available. You'll receive your choice of a weapon by progressing the annual Winter's Day Traditions Meta Achievement or the weekly Winter's Day Festivities Achievement. Plush weapons. What? All right, so let's go through it. Here we go. Oh my god, that's adorable. All right, so there's a plush sword, hammer. It's got a fucking longbow. It's got a snake and a turtle on it. Short bow. It's got little iguanas or something. Axe. It's got a fox with its tush in the air. Dagger has what appears to be Chip chewing on the thing. Great sword. It's got a little red dragon. Mace has a whole bunch of quaggins. And pistol. I'm imagining when you fire this thing, it's just gonna be like vomiting bullets at people. Rifle, which has got a shark on it. Let's see, scepter. It's got a snake wrapped around it. Staff, which has a frog near the end of it. Focus, which... Have you seen my bear Timbers? Alright, the focus is Timbers. Torch has got a snake and what appears to be a turtle shell with fire coming out of the top of it. Very Bowser. Warhorn is got the cat hanging on for dear life while you doot. Shield. Got the dragon again, and spear. We got a return visit from the shark. Those are fantastic. All right, those are the plush weapons. Okay, the weekly Winter's Day Festivities Achievement, along with corresponding weekly achievements available during other festivals, now award their weapon boxes before their festival materials. The Sacred Solstice weapon set is now available from weekly Winter's Day vendors. All right, have we already seen that one before? Sacred Solstice. Okay, so let me see. I don't know if these are new or not. Let me blast through these. Sword, hammer, longbow, short bow, axe, dagger, greatsword, mace, pistol, rifle, scepter, staff, focus, like one of those incense burning things. Let's see, torch, warhorn, and shield. A censer. Yeah, that's the word. Okay, so that's that set. 4 new weapons are now available as rare drops from Wintersday gifts. They can also be purchased from Sparking Stone in Divinity's Reach. Okay, Sparking Stone is right here. Show me your wares. I don't recall which ones are new and which ones are from previous years. I'll just blast through them all. That hammer looks delicious. That's the Wintersday Bash. The gingerbread rifle. The gingerbread spear gun, same graphic. Gingerbread short bow. Ornamented focus. Ornamented shield. Pretty sure this is old, but I'll just continue. Ornamented staff. Great Cracker's Legend. Imagine seeing that in a dark alley. Silent Forest Bell. Call of Cheer. Grinth's Vow. Duena's Promise. And Custom Candy Cane Hammer. Alright. An adorable new mini plush fox is available from Wintersday vendors. Mini plush fox. Okay, let's just do this if I can. Miniatures. Search for the word plush. And there it is. I'm sure Noxxi will be thrilled. That is the mini plush fox. Okay. That's that new thingy. All right. Def Lahar is visiting Divinity's Reach for the festival and offers a variety of homestead-specific recipes for your favorite Wintersday decorations. So, homestead enjoyers, rejoice. New winter-themed guild decorations have been added. Jolly Bow, Icicle, Starlight String, Sparkle Light String. The off-season Wintersday vendor in Hooligan's Route now stocks a much larger selection of Wintersday items for customers who find themselves with excess snowflakes after Tix has closed up his workshop for the year, including the recipes for homestead decorations. So I believe that is referring to in Lion's Arch. Over here, there is a cave that has a ton of holiday merchants for people that have holiday currency, but the holiday has already passed. So you can go there in order to turn those in afterward if you've missed stuff. Hang on a second. I just remembered something that I should do. Okay, there we go. Pausing redeems. Before someone does like a friggin' Merry Muckmas in my ear while we're doing this. Okay. All right, there we go. So that's where Hooligan's Route is. A number of festival-related issues have been fixed to ensure a happy holidays for all heroes. To ensure that festival goers have ample time to enjoy the holiday, Wintersday will be active until January 2nd at noon Pacific time, which is UTC-7. See you in Divinity's Reach. And that is actually on a Thursday. Odd choice, but that means we have got over 3 weeks to do whatever we want. General changes. Guild banners have been updated to improve quality of life and reduce effect icon clutter. Benefits granted by the Guild Heroes banner have been consolidated to display a single effect icon for reward boost and an icon for the swiftness boon. Guild banners that provide the same benefits as the Guild Heroes banner at a lower percentage, such as the basic Guild Karma banner's 5% boost, will now provide the same percentage as the Guild Heroes banner. Interacting with a lesser banner while under the effect of a Guild Heroes banner will now refresh the effect's duration if that duration is lower than what the banner would provide. Guild Commendation traders will now only offer Guild Hero banners since the other banners were extremely inefficient for the price. Reduce the recharge time of Guild banners and fees when deployed from Guild storage. Okay. Several books have been added to story instances in Guild Wars 2 Janthier Wilds, chapters Trial and Error, Battle's Eve, and Balrior Peak. So collectors, they've added new books to the story. Players who have acquired the 4 gifts needed to make Club Journey gear have unlocked the legendary spear's skin, can talk to Unending Tribute to fully complete the legendary weapon Klobjarni Gear Gifts achievement. This is to help hit players who obtain some of the components prior to the achievement's introduction and do not retroactively check progress. So if you care about getting the... Okay, just to be clear, like, I have made the spear, and I don't have the achievement done. So, yeah, it doesn't check everything very well. So if you care about getting the achievement done, you could do this instead of remaking it. The mini blue cuckoo hatchling and mini orange tiger's cub are now available from Black Lion chest merchants for 5 Black Lion statuettes each. Fixed an issue that prevented bonus chests awarded after Decima's defeat from containing a guaranteed reward of charged Titan ore. Purchasing the standings... you know what? It says Ether. It's Decima's defeat. Is that story raid or convergence? Or open world? There's so many Decimas. I'm going to assume story since they were just talking about story right now, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive which one it is. Purchasing the Standing Stones timepiece and Bearkin Warhelm remnants award credit for obtaining the respective items in the Legendary Spear Klobjarni Gear achievement. Players who also enter Lowland Shore to retroactively check if they've completed the Lowland Shore Mastery or Janthir Sentry meta achievements. Mastery achievements. So if you've got any of those achievements where you're supposed to get a whole bunch of materials for Klobjarn, one thing that you can do is get the item in your bag and then zone into those 2 Janthir zones. And sometimes that will force the achievement to check your bag again, and then it will give you credit. Homesteads. Updated the center and alignment of mini weapon skins in the weapon display case decoration. A cuddly new homestead decoration is available for players who have completed the Build a Quaggan collection. Oh, gee, I wonder what it is. All right, raid changes. Decima. Focused Flux Lance now requires only 3 players in the beam instead of 5. That is the green beam that she does during the raid. So they told us that this change was coming, and I was in the middle of making the guide with Noxxi for it, so we actually put a note in the guide that says this is probably going to be changing soon. For those that don't know, there's a point during the fight where she is pointing 5 red or orange arrows at one group of players and a green arrow that requires 5 people in it at the other group of players. Which means that Decima's the only fight in the game that even when she's almost dead, you're punished if you don't have all 10 people alive. And so they were like, you know what, that's a bit much, because if one person makes a mistake on this fight, we don't want it to wipe everyone during the next set of lasers. So they've lowered it from 5 people required to be in the green arrow to 3 people required to be in the green arrow. That way, if you have 1 or 2 people dead, it's not a guaranteed loss for the fight. Okay. Fixed an issue that caused players to be miscounted by Focused Flux Lance. The mechanic will now fail consistently if too few players stand inside the beam. Decima's Defiance has increased by 25%. However, the channeling for Flux Nova is now shortened when Decima's Defiance is broken and she gains Fractured Armor. There was a period of time where if you would CC her, she would just stand there derping for 10, 15 more seconds, as if you hadn't CC'd her, and you would get lots of DPS time in. But what they intended is you CC her and then it goes to the next phase. So that's what they're saying. The Flux Nova will be shortened. It's going to happen sooner. Peal of Harmony is now gained for every 5% of damage taken instead of every 3% of damage taken. This will reduce the number of dancing sparks generated overall. Fixed an issue that caused the telegraphs for Decima's various Flux Lance attacks to be invisible for some players. I can tell you what the issue was right now. The issue is that the arrows were counted among character model limit. So if you had your character model limit, at low or lowest, and she would do the lasers, then what would happen is if you were rendering all the people, you might not render the arrows, which would happen in the raid and also the convergence, which is quite annoying. So I'm glad to see that they have fixed that. I would imagine they moved it up in the priority queue for the arrows or something like that. But I can't say for certain. Okay, when Decima is defeated, any telegraphed Flux Lance attacks will be interrupted and vanish immediately. Yeah, so if she was killed and she was in the middle of firing lasers, the lasers would still fire out of her corpse sometimes. Any longtime raiders have seen that from time to time with Sabbatha. Like, she'll die and then flamethrower the room one more time. Same thing would happen here on occasion. To provide players with additional time to position themselves for focused Flux Lance, all Flux Lance attacks in the encounter's third phase now have an extra half a second of warm-up time before they fire. Players standing directly under Decima during Earthrend and Seismic Crash will now enter downstate and be knocked away. So before, it was a guaranteed you die. And I even had warnings to that in the video. I was like, yo, if you stand directly under her when she does the jump, you're dead. So now they're making it downstate, and your crumpled, broken body is just thrown across the room. Still very punishing. Still don't stand there, but if you do, it's less punishing. Fixed an issue that prevented Flux Lance attacks in the encounter's first phase from targeting downed characters. Okay. Greer. Greer no longer has permanent resolution. Enfeebling Miasma's attack region now matches its warning areas, and lingering gas clouds have area warning circles. Yes, so I believe it was his cone attacks. The damage area, like the cone would be this size, but you would take damage here. So it wasn't matched up. Greer's projectiles can no longer be reflected back at him. These projectiles will instead be destroyed, keeping the protective utility of the affected skills. Surviving Empowering Beasts will now be removed when Greer is slain. So, adds in the room. Blob of Blight now correctly stays in place after it hits a targeted player, and smaller projectiles are now properly destroyed on impact. Greer's first 2 stomp attacks in his Stomp the Mold skill are now blockable and dodgeable. Greer should now attack pets less often. It's funny, in my guide for Greer, you can actually see that a few times in the video. He's just like ignoring the players and attacking like a flesh golem, which is great because he was pointing the red cones in the other direction sometimes. But that was clearly not something that they meant to do. Ura fixed an issue that could cause sulfuric acid effect to persist after defeating the boss, and added additional telegraphing for players targeted by Ura's eruption vent ability. General, players will now properly be notified about the new raid via an alert. Fixed an issue that caused dialogue to repeat upon re-entering the raid after players had progressed beyond the point where it is intended to play. Fixed an issue that caused unintended scaling for events that required the defeat of a legendary Titan spawn. Fixed an issue that could cause events that required the defeat of a legendary Titan spawn to stall. And fixed an issue that allowed players to leave Greer and Decima's arenas mid-fight. Gonna have to call Lord Heisen and see if he did something. General. Fixed an issue that prevented some profession and elite specialization cooldowns, and resources refreshed and reset at the start of an encounter if the player was mounted at the time. Elementalist Volcano, nerfed for good measure. No, it says fixed an issue that prevented this skill from creating explosions on certain terrain. It would be kind of funny if that was the only patch note, just an LE nerf. All right, additional notes. General changes. The following items and skin categories will now be permanently available in the gem store. Emotes, finishers, chairs, lounge passes, fishing rods, jade bots, skiffs, and gathering tools. Permanently available. Does that mean that I could buy like a volatile gathering tool anytime I want? Hang on. Volatile. It's there. Okay. Gather. That's pretty cool, actually. What was the other one? There's a JMod Gather Tool. VIP passes. Mistlock. That's my favorite one. Mistlock passkey. Huh. That's pretty neat. That is pretty neat. Okay, cool. All right, what else? Raids. Added Emboldened mode to Mount Balrior. Call of the Mist Emboldened mode will be active for raid until later next year. This will not disturb the usual rotations. For anyone who is thinking about trying raiding, they don't know what this is. Emboldened mode basically makes everything a little bit easier. It is for helping people learn the raid and get into it. You can turn it off if you want to. So if you walk in the door, it'll be on by default. You can talk to, Glenna or interact with the thing there, I believe, one of the two, because I don't usually use it. You can interact with one of the things there by the door in order to deactivate it if you just want to keep the challenge. The rewards are the same. So it's good for getting into it. All right, World v World adjusted the cost of Siege Blueprints on Laurel, Guild Combination, and World v World Siege Merchant vendors. Adjusted the number of Dolyaks needed to upgrade World v World objectives. Camps previously 15, 30, 50 are now 15, 20, 25. Towers previously 15, 30, and 60 are now 15, 20, and 35. Keeps previously 40, 60, 80 are now 20, 30, 50. Castle previously 40, 70, 100 are now 40, 60, 90. So, excuse me, TLDR, everything that requires Dolyaks to upgrade now requires either the same or less Dolyaks, in some cases 50% less. Lowered the respawn timer for Dolyaks that successfully reach their destination from 5 minutes to 4. Dolyaks with Speedy Dolyak improvement will lower this timer to 2 minutes if they reach their destination successfully. Okay. Added a new Infinite Siege tool that contains any unlocked Infinite Siege blueprints. This item can be obtained for free from the Skirmish Supervisor after completing any Infinite Siege blueprint achievements. So if you've got multiple Infinite Siege blueprint items, this would probably save you some bag space. Added 2 World v World Homestead recipe books to the Skirmish Supervisor. Increased the time limit to complete capture and hold World v World guild missions. Added pile of recycled siege parts to the Mist Hardened lockbox. Updated Guildhall siege upgrades to use new siege blueprints instead of old basic blueprints. All right. Refresh the page real quick, see if there is anything else here. And I think that is it for those notes. Next thing I want to post is a little reminder. If this is your first Wintersday in the game, I have got a get to the point guide for Wintersday that it tells you the basics and explains everything. Additionally, we've got this video here, and it's a bit dated, but it's still 100% accurate. This video here is about how to get the tree and converter guide really quickly. There are 2 items that are both rewards from the same quest that you can get only during Wintersday in this game. One is this thing right here, the Star of Gratitude. It will eat 250 Imperial fragments per day and give you bags of random loot. Very, very good. Any endgame player knows that Imperial fragments just pile up. You can only get this during Wintersday. The second thing is the Christmas tree for your home instance, which if you visit your home instance or your homestead every day, it gives you Wintersday presents each day. And you can keep the presents, or like I got these from my home instance. You can keep them, or you can sell them, you know, whatever you want. So there's 80 silver. You can open them if you like to gamba and, you know, get the random loot, possibly infusions very rarely, or you can just sell them to other people. So the tree and the converter are only obtainable via Wintersday, and highly recommend grabbing those. So that is it for the notes and stuff there. What else do we have? The next thing is new stuff on the gem store. The primary thing that people are very excited about is the plush tiger Warclaw. Clearly designed after Chip. It is a tiger. It has got like a bell thing that rattles around on the front. It has got 2 plush mice on its hip that it is very proud of. And you can ride around on that. I've got one right here. It is wonderful. So there is the new plushie mount. And you've also got those new plushie weapons we talked about earlier. Not sure if there's any new stuff here. Black Lion Chest has something new as well we saw earlier. The Black Lion Chest has a new terrifying, very Christmas-themed helm. And it is called the Vengeful Wolf Rider helm, which is like a flaming bone skinner head. And your head is gone. So there's that if you want it. There's also some new stuff at the merchants. Let me teleport back to a Black Lion merchant. I'm just going to use the Mistlock passkey because it drops me pretty close to one. And then show that. What do you need to do for the converter? The converter and the Christmas tree are both rewards from the same quest, which is detailed in that video that I showed a minute ago. And I'll have it linked in the description under the video that we're making right now. Nope, that's not it. So this guy here we go. Dragon Essence weapons. This is a new weapon set, I believe. And the ethereal part disappears when you sheath it. So like, here's a greatsword. All right, very cool. And if I stow it on my back, you can see the blue part, but not the energy part. But then you draw it, and then the energy part, like, comes online. Also, you know, you can see it leaves, like, streaks through the air and stuff like that. This is almost a halberd. With that, though, let's show this weapon set. So, that is the axe. That is the longbow. Shortbow. Dagger. Focus. How do you hold this thing? Oh, it goes over your whole arm. That's kind of cool. Got like a Mega Man cannon on the front and the things like wrapped around. That's pretty neat, actually. Okay. Greatsword, which we showed a moment ago. Spear for land or water. Hammer, which actually looks like a battle axe almost. If we've got any two-hand axe dreamers in the chat, you know, here's another sort of option. A mace. Pistol. come on. Rifle. Scepter. Shield, which you can see right there. Staff. Sword. Torch. Warhorn. With glowy eyes, you can see through it. All right, so that is the Dragon Essence set. Currently, they are 1 Black Lion claim ticket each. All right, so that's the new stuff on the vendor. We got the new stuff in the chest. We went over the holiday stuff, the patch notes, and the new stuff on the gem store. I think that is everything that I have noticed that is new in the last half hour. Also, your arc DPS is broken. If you notice anything else that I missed, any questions, problems, thoughts, concerns, put them in the comments section down below, and I'll fight you there.